Okay. I was like, is it working?
Right. I was like, is it just gonna spin, or what are we doing here?
Looks like there's already 10 people in the webinar. So,
Hey y'all.
hello everyone.
Hello.
I think we can start by asking folks where you're from. Introduce yourself since you're there. Just let us know. And I am in, I guess, somewhat sunny Southern California today. It wasn't quite as gray. I can't complain, right? I really shouldn't be complaining. But when it gets to like the 60s, 70s, I'm like, oh, it's a little chilly. So I have my sweater on today because I'm a little chilly. So.
And I'm in Colorado, which is actually warm today. So.
Oh, what was it today?
I think it's it's 49, but it's also that's warm because we're close to the sun.
Look, I'm like, oh my God, 49.
No, but I was outside wearing like this, but I had it all rolled up. So in the sun, it's warm.
I'm like, yes, it's really balmy, 49. Well, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Orleatha Smith. I'm the co-founder of Sip Herbals, and the one who just jumped off the screen is Kelly. She's also the co-founder, and we're graced today with Michele. So thank you so much for hanging out with us, Michele. We are going to talk about some flavors today, taste, make some. I'll show you guys 3 different ways to make Sip, which I think is really great. But we're also going to talk about how Sip can support you in your Hashimoto's journey. So that's why we're really excited to have Michele here today. So, and any other, like I don't have Hashis, but I do have an autoimmune condition called urticaria, which most people don't even know what it is, but it means I break out in hives spontaneously, which is great. If you don't know what hives are, they're hot, itchy welts, not fun. But that is why, one of the reasons why we invented Sip. So we'll talk about that as we go, but I wanted to welcome you all in, give some folks a few more moments to get in. First, I'm going to run over here and see where folks are. Sharon's from Canada, 32 degrees. Oh, no. That's not okay. And then in Cincinnati, it was 49. Okay, she's right up there with you. It's balmy 49 there. That's not too crazy. You're right, Joyce. I would never survive in Canada. You are so right.
I'm the one who said you wouldn't survive in Canada. No way.
Oh, yeah. No, I would never survive in Canada.
Oh, that's right. She said that. I agreed.
Yeah. Oh, urticaria too. Like, oh my God. So when I tell people about it, they're mostly like, I don't know what that is. But when if I meet someone who has it, I just want to hug you because I know the pain. Like, oh my God. Here's a big old virtual hug for you there, Joyce. Okay, let me jump back over here. I just wanted to see where folks were. I couldn't see it because I'm far away and these glasses don't quite work that well. So, how many people do we have in here now, Kel? Did I freeze?
We can't hear you.
Can't hear me.
Oh, I was like, are you frozen?
I can't hear Kelly.
There's 13 guests with us right now. So definitely should have Michele introduce herself too.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Hi, I'm Michele Spring. I am from Thriving Autoimmune, and I am a Hashimoto's hypothyroid expert and autoimmune health coach. From Colorado.
Hey, nice to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Okay, so what I think we should do is do an icebreaker then. I know I asked you guys where you were from, but also can you pop in the chat, what do you look forward to most in your daily routine? So is it like yoga? Do you go for a walk? Is it your morning cup? What do you look forward to most in your daily routine? So like, for me, it's like creating intentional rituals, like things that I look forward to kind of get me going throughout the day. So what do you look forward to, Michele? Like do you have like a ritual that is your go-to for every day?
Yeah, I don't have a go-to ritual every day, but I found out last year when I was 46 that I have ADHD. And as a result, I don't get the dopamine hits from doing certain activities a lot of times, like working. And so I've learned to actually make myself have a routine around that. And so that way I'll actually desire to get some work done. So I do really well with hyper focus sessions for like 2 hours. And so I will make myself an emotional support beverage. That's what I call it, which is actually typically sip herbals, because I love like just having that warm cup of something before I sit down, and I'll put some music on. I got my heated blanket, and then that gives me that dopamine, and then I get started. So that's like, I look forward to that every morning. So I do 2 hours of work every morning doing just that. So
that's awesome. Like,
yeah.
I didn't even think about like creating a ritual around something you just can't really get through, or you don't really want to get through. Then that will make you go, okay, I look forward to the ritual as opposed to the actual thing that you're doing. So, and a friend of mine who has ADHD as well, she actually told me that she does something like that as well. So it's cool that you did like I really wanted to work with you with the blanket and the drink. Like, can I do that too? Like, that sounds good. I may come visit you when it warms up. That's what I'll do. Okay. So, emotional support beverage. I love that too. That's like so cool. I love that. I will keep an emotional support beverage. I'm actually going to make 3 of them today. Okay. So as far as like rituals for me, I do love to this sounds really weird, but I get up in the morning and I go walk on my treadmill, because when I'm doing that, I think through my day and I have anxiety. So as I'm moving and thinking, it helps me to release some of that anxiety. Instead of starting my day on an anxious note, I kind of start my day more relaxed because I've gotten my walk in. So that does help a lot for me. And that is my ritual, which, you know, most people are like, oh, people who work out, I don't understand it. But I understand that piece of it, because it does help me to sort of work through those thoughts that are just ruminating. And I'm like, okay, if I'm moving and sweating, and then, okay, I feel better, right? So that's one of my rituals. But I don't want to get all off track. So I have notes here so that I don't lose myself. And the first flavor that we are going to try today is peppermint. So I'm going to make it using basic, and peppermint mocha, by the way, peppermint mocha is in our holiday box. It is a seasonal flavor, so when it's gone for the year, it's totally gone. We have had people write us, and they're like, can you please bring it back? And I'm like, sorry, it's gone. But so I'm going to start with peppermint mocha. I'm going to boil my water. I love this electric kettle. If you do teas a lot, or you like to make it this way, then this is like my favorite. I love my little blue light. So I'm going to start by putting my strainer right in this cup, and then I'm going to, oh my God, that is the best smell. Like, peppermint always reminds me of winter, and even though I'm in Southern California, I'm originally a Midwest girl, so I do know what it is to be cold. I just don't like it. But it does remind me of winter. So I'm going to grab my teaspoon that I happen to leave over here, and I am going to just measure out my sip right on in there. Now, if you like it stronger, I use a tablespoon. So if you want to use a teaspoon, that's totally fine. Use 2 teaspoons. It's like perfectly fine. But I like mine a little stronger, so I use a tablespoon. And then once I get it in there and close my bag back up, I'm going to put it, I hope you guys can see this, but I'm going to put it, yeah, that's boiling, that's really good. I'm going to put it right in there and let that steep for a second, a moment. Actually, not enough water. There we go. And as you can see, it's already starting to brew, and smells delicious. So I'm going to let that go for a second. I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes because that's how long we brew. Now, I've had people tell me, oh yeah, I brew longer. I'm like, I wouldn't brew too long because it can get, it's just like, any other herbs where if you brew too long, it can get bitter. It does have dandelion in it, and dandelion does have that bitterness. So you let that get stronger, 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 you're gonna have a bitter cup. So you really don't want to brew forever, right? So once we're gonna go ahead and let that brew a little bit. And actually, I have a question for you, Michele. What are some benefits of being caffeine-free if you have an autoimmune condition, specifically Hashimoto's?
Well, caffeine can really cause stress on your body. It can activate cortisol, which when we have an autoimmune disease in the first place, it's not something that we really want to have more stress on our body because you already have a pretty high stress load. I mean, we have stress from all kind of sources, like just normal stress, traffic, deadlines, bills, taxes, all that kind of stuff. If you're exercising at all, that can cause stress, toxins in your body, just the autoimmune process can cause stress. So you have all of this stress. And then by adding caffeine onto it, it can be that thing that could break the camel's back, really. But it's just something that, you just have to be mindful. And I don't think people have to necessarily be completely caffeine free if they want to have, I have 1 cup of coffee a day, right? That's just, I do have that in the morning, but you don't want to keep piling it on and on and on and on as the day goes on. Especially a lot of people that hit that 3 o'clock kind of the feeling when you're tired, and then having caffeine on top of that, it's just, you're actually making things worse for yourself, especially in the long run, for really trying to help yourself get that energy back. So it's just the stress load. We really, really want to look at the stress load and making sure that we're trying to bring it down as much as we possibly can. So
now, I was one of those people who used to drink a ton of coffee, and Kelly was funny. I used to drink a lot of coffee. I was give me my browns. I have everything going here. I'm going to drink a cup in the morning, a big cup, not when you're pregnant, they tell you can have 8 ounces. I was that's not going to work for me, right? That's not going to work. So I would drink 4 cups of coffee, maybe 5 a day. Not good. So I understand if you're I have to give up my coffee, but that's literally why we made sure that SIP was the type of coffee alternative that would give us back that ritual, because I personally didn't want to give it up. So I needed something like that. I'm going to grab a spoon real quick. So I'll grab a couple of them.
Yeah, I give it up for a month, usually every year, just because I do find I do need to have that break, especially around this time of year for some reason. I don't know, it's the season change or whatever, but I tend to wake up very early in the morning, just not on purpose. And then if I have caffeine on top of it, I do get very jittery. So I do tend to give it up for a month, kind of get that reset too as well, which is helpful.
Yeah, I think it's because, it's already a stressful time of year. You got all of the holidays and the family, and then the kids are out for 2 weeks, and what do we do with them? Oh my gosh, right? So it's already a lot, and then we're you know what? Let's have some coffee, right? So it's already a little bit stressful. I always enjoy my SIP, and I tell everyone who's new to SIP to enjoy it the same way you did enjoy your coffee. And for me, I never drank black coffee, never. I feel like I need something in there. For me, this is my treat. So I want something treat that makes me feel like I'm having a treat. So I do add my creamer. So I'm going to just go ahead and show you guys how that works there. My little cream here is, I'm using a heavy whipping cream substitute because I can't have dairy. I know a lot of people are I can have dairy, that's totally fine. I can't. So I'm going to use my little frother here to froth my little dairy. Make it, there we go. Make my little cup there. Okay, so it's a little bit creamy here. I'm going to, you start to taste with your nose. A lot of the time, our olfactory nerve, this is the biology teacher coming out in me, so bear with me. But your olfactory nerve is how you actually start to taste what you're about to put in your mouth. So I always smell it first, and I don't know if some of you do that too. You smell what you're going to drink first. That is top notch. Very pepperminty. And we use a roasted carob to give us that chocolate note, but it also makes sure that you don't have any caffeine. So some people are sensitive to chocolate as well, but we use roasted carob to make sure that we don't have any of that caffeine. It also has some nutty notes. So it's like, it's different from coffee in that it's obviously not coffee, but it does give you the body of coffee, has the mouthful of coffee. But this is like, oh, it's like a Girl Scout cookie, like a peppermint, thin mint, like thin mint peppermint cookie. Have you had a chance to try peppermint mocha, Michele?
Oh, that's what I'm drinking right now.
Yeah, I'm drinking it too. I wanted to jump in and do some moderating, Orleatha. So a couple things I just want to share for the people who are on the call and stay through the call. By the end of the call, we're going to pick one person to win a holiday box. So if you just stay on the call with us, you'll end up winning one. It's a $120 value, and you actually get peppermint mocha. Do you have cinnamon roll? I think you have it right in front of you.
Yeah, cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll, and it comes with a fun holiday box. And then
this mug.
Oh, do you have it? Oh, okay. I thought you had the whole box. The mug, yeah, the mug, and some cute socks, and a really cute box.
Socks.
Ah! I love it.
I love this mug. It's like my favorite. I love it. But that mug is a strainer as well. You can get this strainer, or you can get what? Yeah.
It's everything you need to kind of get started with it. And then the other thing is before the webinar started, I popped in a poll asking people, what's your biggest struggle with Hashimoto's? And so far, 50% have selected managing fatigue and low energy. So definitely, we'd love some tips about that, Michele, if you could share that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I struggled with as well. I mean, I know a lot of people, weight gain is a huge thing for them, but it was definitely the fatigue aspect for me. What I just shared, the stress load thing is definitely one of them. Not going towards trying to have caffeine as your source because of the fact that it will actually over time make things worse because of that stress load. And then also just like trying to manage your inflammation and everything as much as possible. So eating an anti-inflammatory kind of diet is really going to help. It's going to help with all of the processes in your body, getting the thyroid hormone to your cells, which is probably the biggest reason why most people don't have energy when they have a thyroid issue, especially even if you're taking medication. If your thyroid, if you make thyroid hormone and you take thyroid hormone, you may have a great lab result, but if that's not actually getting to your cells, your metabolism is not going to work and you're going to feel very, very tired. So doing what you can to help your body process through the thyroid hormones so that way it can convert it from the form that your thyroid makes and from what you're taking in via medication to the active form that your body can actually use. So it's things like de-stressing, making sure you're eating as anti-inflammatory of a diet as possible, making sure that you are not overtaxing your liver with a lot of toxins and sugars and all of those kind of things, and just really just being as as healthy as possible, because that will help make your body do what it's supposed to do. Your body knows what to do. But by doing that, then you're going to actually get the hormone to your cells and you will actually have a lot more energy as a result. So
it's like what you're saying is it's more than just a magic pill.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is. Yeah, I mean, I was so frustrated because for 8 years, my doctor's like, just take this magic pill. And I'm like, the magic pill's not working. But yeah, so it's really understanding that's really the metabolism is when it gets to your cells. It doesn't happen right here at your thyroid, but it has to go through a lot of processes to get there. So.
Yeah, I love that. And that you have to sort of create the environment to make it happen, right? Like you can't just go, oh yeah, one thing. I remember when I first when I first found out like that my diet would make such a big difference in my skin, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna take this one thing out. Yeah, no, you gotta have to, you have to do a lot. You have to do more than just one thing. And then it was like focusing on sleep and moving and not having so much stress and like all of these things. So it's good to hear you say it's always more than one thing, right?
Yeah. But it doesn't have to be like anything crazy either, right? Like it's just doing things that are like common sense almost. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I am going to, let's see, what am I supposed to do? Sorry. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you said that because my notes say that I'm supposed to talk about how our mission actually does align completely with a healthy lifestyle, and how it started was because Kelly and I both realized that coffee was wreaking havoc. And Kelly realized before I did. Kelly did. I would give it to her. We worked together on projects before, and I remember when the pandemic hit, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like all over the place. I'm not sleeping. My skin's a mess. Like it was anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And Kelly's like, it's probably your coffee. And I was like, no, it is not. It is not my coffee. It's not. And it actually was. But like I said, I needed my ritual. So that's kind of why I was asking earlier what your rituals were. And so in creating that ritual, that's how Kelly and I came with the right herbs and the right spices and the right flavors to make us have that coffee house feel without like giving up the ritual. So it's really good to hear you say it's all of these things. And for me, giving up my ritual was stressful. And so it was causing more, like, not causing more problems, but actually causing problems because I was like, I missed it and I was sad. So it was causing a little bit of a problem for me. So I just kind of wanted to share how we came up with this and how it is definitely in line with a healthier lifestyle. And also I'm going to make the next flavor because I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, okay, got to unpack. The next flavor I am going to make is vanilla. And I'm going to use a Keurig because a lot of people don't realize that you can use a reusable K-cup, which we do have on the site, so you don't even have to go look for them. But I'm going to use our reusable K-cup, and I'm actually going to make vanilla. I've already put my water in here, didn't I? Yes. Trying to do like the whole magic of TV, like get set up. So I am going to make a cup of vanilla. Again, I love the smell. And I'm just gonna put a tablespoon right in there and then pop the top on and make sure that my arrows are pointing towards the side. So it's up there. You're blinking, there we go. Okay, so there we go. So certain ingredients like chicory and dandelion root can help promote gut health. And so, Michele, can you share with us a little bit about how gut health is like crucial for those, especially those of us, first of all, it's crucial for health in general, but for those of us who have autoimmune issues, it's super important. So, Michele, can you share?
Yeah. So with autoimmunity, one of the big problems that we talk about is inflammation, right? Chronic inflammation is the root of a lot of diseases, and it is something that we want to avoid. And gut health, A, promotes inflammation. B, if you don't have healthy gut, you can have all kind of food intolerances that will actually cause an immune response, like the autoimmune response, and directly cause tissue damage to your organs and tissues. So like your thyroid, for example. So certain foods that you may not think that you don't tolerate, you may not tolerate because your gut health is poor. But if you have good gut health, you may be able to tolerate them. So we really want to have good gut health for that. We also want to have it because, again, when I talk about that thyroid conversion from the hormone that your thyroid makes or that you take in via a pill, some of the conversion happens in the gut. And so if you don't have good gut health, you're not converting that hormone efficiently, and therefore it's not getting to your cells. Then again, we have all of our issues of not having the energy or the weight gain and all that kind of stuff as well. So it's very important for that. And you want to be able to digest your foods. That's also very important so that you get the nutrients, because your body needs a lot of nutrients. Your immune system needs a lot of nutrients. So it's like your gut health is one of the most important parts of your body. So that's why I love your product, because it really helps. Like, it feeds good I can't talk anymore. Good gut bacteria with the prebiotics, right? And then also, like, dandelion, it's helpful for liver health as well, right? I believe. Yeah, which also is great, because that's where most of the thyroid hormones converted. So, yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people don't think kombucha or fermented foods, and those are great, but prebiotic fiber feeds all of that good stuff that's going on. So you need both prebiotic and probiotic fibers in your gut as you're going throughout your journey on your wellness journey. So you do need both. And then yes, dandelion does support your liver. I love it, because a lot of people I've seen a lot of people on socials doing liver detoxes, and I'm like, well, if you just support your liver, you don't really need it. Does its own little detox thing, but just support it. Give it the ability to be more efficient as it's doing its own detox of your body, like it does that anyway. That's why it's there. So thanks for saying that. So this is vanilla, and it was in my Keurig. And as you can see, let me pop it over here so you guys can see. Oh God, that smells so good. Okay, so I wanted you to see this one close up, because I don't think I brought the other one over close up, but I wanted you to see how beautiful and dark that comes out in my Keurig. If you do have a little mini Keurig like I do, this makes mornings so fast, right? Like, you're like going through your day, you're like, let me pop it in there, excuse me, and make my cup. So, my favorite part. Now, I did drink this one, or make that one, and taste it black, but I wanted you to know that some of the notes that I taste, just with nothing in it, are, of course, floral. It has pure vanilla beans in it. So we don't use any natural flavors, and I'm putting that in quotes because we all know it's not natural. All right? We don't use any natural flavors. Vanilla actually has chicory, carob, and dandelion. Those are our base ingredients. Chicory is prebiotic. Dandelion is great for your liver. But carob is also rich in antioxidants, like calcium, and also minerals like calcium to help your body as well. So it has those three as the base. And then it also has ground vanilla beans and salt, and that's it. And so you can really taste the vanilla come through, because it does have just vanilla beans, and that's why you can smell them. So with this one, I have some oat milk here. I tolerate oats. So I'm going to add a little bit of oat milk, just so you can see how that works. Just a little bit of oat milk there. I do like mine creamy. I'm going to show you a really cool drink at the end, so stay tuned. I'm going to make a Starbucks-worthy drink. And so I like oat milk in vanilla. It tastes like a little bit of a vanilla, like a oat milk cookie type deal. Really good. Oh yeah, that's really good. And chicory is naturally sweet. So if you don't like really sweet, like cloyingly sweet drinks, but you like a little bit of sweetener, chicory is naturally sweet, so it will lend itself to be a little bit sweeter than just like a black coffee. Do we have any other questions in there?
Yeah, there's 3 questions in here. So I'll start with the first one from Elise. And she's actually wanting to know, Michele, how do you know you have a buildup of toxins?
There's a lot of symptoms that can occur. I think, like, especially if you start getting a lot of colds and flus and viruses and that kind of stuff, that can be one indicator. Also, just if you do start feeling a lot more tired than usual, when it gets really bad, then you can start having like yellow in your eyes and certain things like that. But it's a long list, and it doesn't necessarily mean that if you have any of those, it means that your liver is backed up either. So it's a little in the gray area of how you know. Typically, it's just better to do some supporting of your liver just to kind of help it along. But yeah, You could Google the symptoms if like you really want to know all of the symptoms, because yeah. But then again, they could be for any number of things. So I wouldn't freak out if you have all of those as well. So yeah.
And then I've
go ahead,
Orleatha. Kind of scary. I'm just saying that if you Google your symptoms, just be careful because that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
I'm dying, right? Like, no, you're not dying, darling.
No, you're not. Chances are you are probably fine unless you actually have like the whites of your eyes are now yellow. You're fine, but
okay. Second question. Joyce wants to know about what percentage of your clients are able to get off thyroid meds.
You know, I have a hard time with the percentage one because it depends on how long you've had Hashimoto's when you come to me, because if it's like a newer kind of thing and you haven't had it for very long, you have a much better chance of getting off of it than if you've had it for a long time. Because if you've had it for a long time, chances are your thyroid has been destroyed for a while. So it's like, you know, for me, like I didn't know for 8 years after I got diagnosed with hypothyroidism that I had a autoimmune disease and that my thyroid was being destroyed. So enough of mine was destroyed that I can't get off of medication. But I've had a lot of people that have come to me within like the first 5 years or so, and they've been able to get off. I've had people that have been on longer too, because it really does depend on how much damage has been done. So if you have a very slow moving disease, it's possible. But I would say 90% of mine have been able to reduce their medication and be able to stay on a stable dose, which is good, which is kind of what we're after, really, in that situation, if you can't get off, just so that you're not constantly going back and forth every month on different doses and all of that. So.
Wow. That's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
The third question's easy, and it's for you, Orleatha. It's what are you using for heavy cream substitute?
Yeah, I wanted to know that too.
Okay. So I use, depends on where you are. So my absolute favorite one is Trader Joe's. In their refrigerated section, they have a heavy cream, a vegan cream, but it's not like terrible ingredients. They're not too terrible. We all know it's not cream, so it's not going to be like the best, but they're not too terrible. It's like 5 or 6 ingredients. I'm fresh out of that. So today I have this other one that I'm going to bring over to you guys. It is
Khalifa.
Yeah, Khalif, whatever. I'm terrible with names. It has water, coconut oil, sunflower oil, fava bean, protein isolate, acacia, and some gums. And the gums actually, from my own research, are not as terrible as they had been led to, that they had been told, you know, oh, gums are terrible. They're actually not too bad if you don't have 7 bazillion billion of them. For me, I don't react to them at all. So that's all that's in here. Not a lot of super weird stuff. This one though, it's not my absolute favorite because it's not as creamy as the one from Trader's. That one is epic. So good. And then I also use oat milk. The oat milk that I use is not in my refrigerator because this is like the last of it. But it is, I can't remember the name of it. I will tell you the name of it. But it just left my brain as soon as I said it. But it is super creamy and it froths up really well. So I'll share the name of that in a follow-up email when we send you the replay. I do want to talk about, before we move on to, that the holiday box, as Kelly was talking about, is on sale. And I don't think we said that Michelle's coupon will stack on top of it.
Yes.
So
there's Michelle's coupon. She has a coupon of 20% off. And you'll see the code above, Thriving20. And that will stack on the Holly box, which is 50% off. So.
And we're going to give one away. So if you stay through the end, have a choice, a choice. You have a choice too, you know. You have a chance to win a holiday box. We're going to give that away. So again, you get the super cute mug. This is my favorite. You get the socks that Michele was super flexible to show you. I can't show you. I'm not yet. There you go. I'm like, I can't do that. You also get the strainer, you get cinnamon roll, you get peppermint mocha, and you get this lip balm. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the lip balm.
Oh my goodness. And the box. I have the box. It's empty, but this is what the holiday box looks like. And all of those things come inside of this.
And this is the lip balm. I keep it in my purse because it actually is a good lip balm. I like it. And it's peppermint. It's peppermint tea. So that is what you get. All right, let's move to the very last flavor that we're going to do. And I'm actually going to make one of my favorite like special drinks, the ones that I like to make when I have a lot of time and I want to make myself feel like super special, like I'm in a high-end coffee shop. This one is my cinnamon roll, but I'm going to make it with my brown sugar syrup. So I make my own syrups. This is, like I said, I love my coffee. Love it. So I love my sip now. But I'm going to use a brown sugar syrup that I made. And brown sugar, simple syrup, you can also make it with coconut sugar if you're avoiding brown sugar. But I just use organic brown sugar and some water. And what you do is 1 part to 1 part. And you put it on your stove. You let it cook until it starts to boil a bit. Let it cool. And then I just jar it. It's just, makes me feel special. And I am going to use cinnamon roll. This is my cinnamon roll because I drink it every single day. And since I'm a co-founder of the company, I just take 4 bags and pour them in here. And that way I can just scoop it and go because I love it, right? I drink that much of it. And this time I'm going to use a French press to make mine. If you don't have a French press, again, you can make it in a Keurig or a strainer or even in your coffee maker. If you have a coffee maker, you can put it in your coffee maker. So just going to put my cinnamon roll in there. And I'm going to let my water boil a little bit more while we do that. And while we do that, I know you were talking about cortisol a little bit earlier, Michele. What does that actually do to the thyroid?
So cortisol, it's interesting because cortisol is actually an anti-inflammatory. I had no idea. I learned that recently. So in small amounts, if you get like a cut or if you get injured in some way, cortisol is one of the first responders. It helps to cause inflammation around an acute area and it helps to help it. But then in long, like we basically marinate in it is the problem. And we don't want to marinate in it because then it starts causing it causes inflammation on the opposite spectrum, right? So it's like it goes from being a helpful thing to being something that actually causes inflammation. And it's the whole HPA excess where we don't want the hypothalamus and the pituitary, which is telling the thyroid to make hormones, to be all messed up and not understand what the inputs should be for the thyroid, so that it starts really kind of the signals get crossed a little bit there. And then it's directly responsible if you marinate in cortisol hormones a lot for tissue destruction of the thyroid, which is what we don't want. I mean, putting it in simple terms, yeah.
Wow.
Like marinating it.
Yeah, no, it's like you're marinating like a chicken breast, like in a bag of cortisol hormones. So, which I know.
Flip it over every 30 minutes, and that way it gets all in there, right?
Exactly. But yeah, we're just getting this constant drip of this hormone that is not supposed to be something that we're getting that much of. Right. It's supposed to happen in the morning. It's a waking hormone. It's supposed to be something that helps us to really concentrate and be focused and be ready to fight or flight if like, a bear's coming at us, that kind of thing. It also does help us to focus on a lower level. So like if you are trying to study or learn something or have a very focused conversation, you'll have a little bit of it. It's fine, but it's just this constant, really kind of mid-level marination of having this drip of it. That's just, it's really directly causing inflammation, which is directly causing the autoimmune attack on the thyroid tissues.
Mm.
Yeah.
I learned something, right? Like I'm like, I didn't know that it would just come and help, but then it's when it's that chronic, constant stress, right? Like that's where the problem comes in. Where, for instance, when I get super stressed, I literally will break out in hives. Just covered, it's great. Because, like you said, it's the cortisol spike, and then my body's like, hives, right? Like, let's do the fun thing of breaking out in hot, itchy welts. It's great. Isn't that right, Joyce? Joyce is like, no, it's not great at all. So, thanks for sharing that, because I did learn something new. I was pouring this so that we wouldn't have to wait for it to brew, but I do want to come over there and show it to you because we're almost done. But this is what a French press, my French press is. And then when I'm ready to pour it, I just push it down. You don't have one. And then I can pour it out. So I'm going to pour my cup, and then I'm going to show you guys how much fun I have when I make my fruit-free cup of sip. This is my favorite flavor, by the way. Cinnamon roll is my absolute favorite. I don't know if I said that, but it is my absolute favorite. And the cinnamon roll, cinnamon you can smell. And the reason you can smell the cinnamon is because it has our base of chicory, carob, and dandelion, but it then has all of the cinnamon chunks. So we don't use just like cinnamon powder. We use cut up cinnamon pieces. I want to show you guys too, because I feel like that's what makes it super cinnamony. And also has date sugar in it, a little bit of date sugar to give it that brown sugar flavor, that caramel note. And we do source our dates from a local farmer here in SoCal. And so the dates are, we get our date sugar from him. And then it also has a little bit of salt and ground vanilla beans, and that's it. So super simple, but it smells and tastes like a cinnamon roll. So first thing I do is I add a little bit of my brown sugar sweetener, or my simple syrup. And it's totally up to you how much you like. I don't like a super sweet drink, but if you want to, you know what? That's your business. So chicory is already a little bit sweet. And then I like to frost my oat milk. So I'm going to just put that in there. Now, one thing I want to tell you about frosting is if you leave your frother near the surface, that's when you get all of the bubbles. And that's when you get all of the froth. So as you can see, I'm frothing it up a little bit more. It's getting higher and higher, and I hope I don't make a mess while I'm trying to show you. But that's how you get it all frothy. If you don't have a frother, you can also do this in the microwave with a jar. You put a little bit of of the milk in there. You microwave it for 10 seconds, and you shake it like your life depended on it. You get all of the air in there, and that's when you'll be able to froth it as well. So I like to take my little foam, put it right on there, make myself a special drink without making a mess. Look at me. Oh my. All right. And this is my favorite little drink. I'm going to come over and show you guys because it's all cute. All right. So this is my favorite cinnamon roll with a little bit of brown sugar, simple syrup, and oat milk, and it tastes. I wish y'all could taste this with me because it is so good. I really do wish you could. I am not rubbing this in, but it is absolutely divine. So if you do need to replace coffee, I know Michele says she can have 1 cup, but even if you need to cut coffee, what benefits could that have for someone with Hashimoto's, Michele? Like, what could cutting coffee help someone with Hashimoto's? I know we were talking about cortisol, but is there anything else?
Yeah, I mean, other than the gut health the cortisol, all of that, it's all great, right?
And that's it, you know, little things here and there. But I do want to just also just share that if you are missing or you do think you might need to cut back, especially I know a lot of people go into the new year like, you know, I am going to start the first of the year. Again, you can use Michelle's code if you want to try a sample pack, some tea bags, which we do have. I'll do those on the next one. I'll do tea bags on the next one. But we do have tea bags. So if you don't have any machinery and you're ready to just do it on the go or do it at work, we do have tea bags. They are made of 100% compostable fibers. They're vegetable fibers, so you can just toss them in the compost or the trash and they'll break down, so no microplastics around here. And they are sealed with sonar, so there's no, I don't know if you guys know this, but some tea bags are sealed with like a flour paste, so they have some gluten there. So if you're super sensitive, then you may not even be able to drink regular tea because the tea bags are sealed with flour paste. It's just kind of weird. But ours are not. So if you do want to try something that doesn't require any hardware, feel free to check those tea bags out, especially using Michelle's code. And let's see. Oh gosh, that's good. Morning routine, if you're missing it and you're wanting your coffee, you can totally do this. Or as you said, you did say something about having that 3 o'clock crash. Sometimes it's literally just the routine of grabbing a cup, something warm, and drinking it. And you'll go, oh, your body's like, oh yeah, something warm, and it's a drink. That's a pick-me-up, right? But I do want you, because a lot of people will ask, you know, does sip have that up? It doesn't give you an up feeling because we don't have any crash, there's no jitters. However, it's balanced, very balanced energy because your body is being more efficient. So you're having the ability to not need the caffeine jump, you know, first thing, or that jolt and then crash, and then you really want to crawl under your desk after that crash. So we don't have that, but we do have the balanced energy because it's just nourishing for your body. It's a great nourishing routine that you can get in. And so I wanted to share some of the 3 flavors. Next time I'll share more. And so I want to open it up for any other questions. Ask anything about the flavors or anything you want to know about Michele, brewing tips, anything you want to know. We're an open book for the next 10 minutes.
I did want to quickly too, some people do have sensitivities to seeds. So that's why, like, if you do the autoimmune protocol, for example, seeds are eliminated. So since there are no seeds inside of this is a great alternative as well. So that's why a lot of people always ask, can I do decaf coffee instead? But decaf coffee does come from a seed. So people do have issues with that. So I love this as an alternative for not, you know, for those people that can't have that or are choosing to not have that for a while doing the autoimmune protocol.
Yeah, we really did work to make sure our product SIP is good for autoimmune, like by using mace instead of nutmeg, and, you know, our pumpkin spice and our dirty chai. So just really creating something for our community.
Yeah, and there's not even black pepper in the dirty chai.
Correct. I think I'm not seeing any questions, so that means that I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pick the winner of those who stayed with us. And let me click my little randomizer button here. And Heather. Heather is the winner of the holiday box. Yay!
Hey, Heather. Congratulations, Heather. I hope you enjoy every sip, as I'm now halfway through this cup, which is really funny because I was like, the other ones I'm like, yeah, they're great, but this one, oh. So I hope you enjoy cinnamon roll. It's in there. So fun. Congratulations.
So hopefully I did just send a message. And then I think maybe, there's no other questions popping off. So.
Okay. Then I guess we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michele, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Michele. Thank you for showing off your style flexibility.
My back will probably hurt for a month after that, but you know.
Well, you did. It was all worth it, you know. So for sharing not only your time with us, but your knowledge and your wisdom, because I learned some things today. I'm sure everybody did. So thank you. I
had no idea about cortisol like that. What?
Dude, I have a biology degree, and I didn't even know that. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your time. And hopefully we get the winner there, the information, and we can ship that box out to you on Monday. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.